Every year, the United States prints billions of dollars. So here's the question. If the U.S. can print money whenever it wants, why can't it erase its $35 trillion debt? The idea sounds simple. Print money and pay the debt. But the real explanation is very different. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are explaining why the United States cannot erase its debt by printing more money. Let's break it down in a clear and simple way. People often imagine the U.S. government printing money whenever it needs it. In reality, the system works differently. The U.S. Treasury prints physical cash. The Federal Reserve creates digital money. Most U.S. money is not paper. It exists as digital numbers. Yes, the U.S. can create money easily. But the real question is whether it should. Imagine the dollar like a slice of pizza. If there are only a few slices, each slice has value. But if you create too many slices, each one becomes worth less. This is inflation. Extreme inflation becomes hyperinflation, where prices rise so fast that money loses value. This happened in Zimbabwe, Venezuela, and Germany. People needed extremely large amounts of cash to buy basic items. If the U.S. printed trillions to erase its debt, inflation would increase sharply. Prices for fuel, food, and housing would rise immediately. U.S. debt is different from personal or business debt. The world trusts U.S. government debt more than any other debt. Investors in countries buy U.S. Treasury bonds because they are considered safe. Nations like Japan, China, and the United Kingdom lend money to the United States because they expect to be paid back. The global financial system depends heavily on the U.S. dollar. Most international trade uses dollars. Oil prices are set in dollars. Countries store dollars in their central banks. This system works only because people trust the dollar. If the U.S. started printing money to erase its debt, that trust would disappear. Countries would use fewer dollars. They might sell their U.S. bonds. The dollar could lose value quickly. The U.S. government does not need to eliminate all debt. Debt is part of how the system operates. The government borrows money, spends it, and investors earn interest. As long as the economy grows and confidence remains, debt can continue. The goal is manageable debt, not zero debt. If the U.S. printed money to erase its debt, several things would happen. Inflation would rise rapidly. The dollar would lose value. Foreign investors would stop buying U.S. bonds. The stock market would fall. Countries would reduce their use of the dollar. This would weaken the U.S. economy and reduce its global influence. The United States manages its debt by growing the economy, adjusting taxes, changing interest rates, and repaying debt slowly over time. This stable and gradual approach protects the financial system. The United States can print money, but printing money to erase debt would damage the economy and reduce confidence in the dollar. Debt is large, but trust in the dollar is what truly matters. Thank you for watching. For more clear explanations on finance, subscribe to the channel. Comment below if you want a video on how taxes work.